Alright, so we're having a little bit of a camera issue, so we haven't been able to record everything, but here's how the interior is looking so far. Got the door cards in, seats in, interior somewhat in. Dosh is flocked. I think the footage is corrupted. Maybe have a little bit of the footage. I'm gonna show you guys it right now. How it looks. Not sure if you can see from this angle. It's kind of dark, but there's the flocked dash. Looks really good. But first time doing it, and I think it came out quite nicely. So yeah. All right. So today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be relocating this booster or proportioning valve, whatever. Normally it sits here. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be flipping the bracket to this side. I'm going to be trying to mount it over here on the wall. I'm also going to see if I have enough time to mount all the rest of the fuel stuff. I ordered the new brake booster and master cylinder, so hopefully the car is going to be ready, and then whenever we make the engine, we're going to just clean up the engine, paint it, and slap it in, and we're going to have a running car. So yeah, I got to get to work. All right, so I'm not sure where I last left off, but I got the, I guess like a subframe over here where the steering rack is hidden. Got that painted up in a satin black. It's currently a little glossy, but it is drying up. I got this part over here mounted for the shifters. That's all the same, waiting for fittings to arrive so that I can run the hoses. Also waiting for the master cylinder and the brake booster. So it's looking on from the interior so far. Did a little bit more routing back here. Got the factory foot pad, so like your feet don't bash in all the wires over there installed. Fuse panel. Still a little not completely finished yet because we're gonna be doing a switch panel, so we're gonna have like our own fuse box that we're gonna make back here with all the fuses, circuit breakers, and all that fun stuff. So that's the current progress. It's gonna be slow since school's starting up for us. We don't have that many hours to put into this build, but we are also waiting still for the engine and transmission. Still not sure how long it's gonna take, maybe a week or two from now. Hopefully it'll be here soon, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I got some steel tubing at the metal supply shop, and I'm currently trying to decide how I want to decide the rear crash bar. I'm not sure how high I want it or how low I want it. Well, the first thing I was just gonna run a straight piece of metal, but I'm not liking how this is coming out. So what I'm thinking is here, I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna do pie cuts, some nice welds, and then I'm gonna have it angled in. So here, it's gonna be angled in. Over here, cut, angled in. And over here, angle coming here, angle coming here, one post down right here. This will be kind of like a triangle for that part. And yeah. But the first thing I have to start with is I have to make a bracket for this thing to be on. So I got this piece of metal. It's really thick metal, but cut it in half and try and find a way for this to bolt to the car that way. So then I have something to weld to and build off of to make this.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life.
Alright, so here's what we have. My legs are asleep, but it's pretty close just for an angle grinder. Should be easy to weld. Hoping that they're the same height. If not, I might have to knock them down a little bit. So I'm gonna check that right now.
Feel the pain, live the grind. I could change in my mind. Pick a lane, commit and climb. The only way to win at life. I never miss that fast. Taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat. Put me in the ring and go out in a bag. Cause I seen what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill. I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but on this goes.
Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm just getting this tack welded. Nothing's set in stone. I just want it to be tack welded. And yeah, that's currently how the bar is looking. We're gonna have this part extend over here, angled in, and start working on that. So what I'm currently thinking is, I'm gonna take an 11-inch piece like this. I'm I'm gonna cut a little notch into it so that it sits like this. So it's a little angled. Let's see if I can show you guys on the camera what I mean from up here. So instead of it being like this, it's straight out, piece is gonna go in. All right, so now I'm trying to figure out how long I want this bottom section to be. And I'm thinking that I want it to be maybe 9 inches. So I'll cut a pipe that's 9.5. We'll see what that gets us, and then after that it's gonna be something like that to the side, and then one over here to this side. So I think that'll look pretty cool. So, still gotta sand everything down, get it welded up, paint it, but he's looking good. Looks so sick. Not sure if the camera does any justice. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be strengthening the tack welds. I'm still not going to be completely welding, I'm just going to be strengthening the tack weld so that when I take the crash bar off of the car, it doesn't somehow like fall apart. So I just want to make sure it doesn't come apart, that's all. Alright, it's tack welded a little better. Doesn't look good or anything, but it's tack welded. It'll look better once we weld it. Alright, so this is a little project I was working on. I didn't record it. Not sure why I didn't record it. It would have been a good video, but so it's going to be a fuse panel. So here we have a circuit breaker. This isn't the actual wire. We're actually going to put a thicker wire, but it goes here. This is like a fuse block. Goes into relays, goes into terminals, so that we can put our switches straight to this for like this switch panel. So it's a pretty professional, huh?
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, still got a lot of work to do to this car, but we'll see. I was thinking we're gonna do the fucking get the dash in, but now I'm not sure, because I gotta take the pedal assembly out and make a DIY master cylinder bracket, which needs to arrive. So yeah, fun. Yo, I'm gonna do a kickflip on this thing. Hold on, pop, shove it.
I've done the brackets, man.
It didn't. Nah, they're good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so I got the fuse panel mounted. Still got to run the power wires to it. Also got to figure out where we're going to be mounting the battery. If it's going to be like behind the seats or in the trunk. Also got the pedal assembly out, so it looks like a mess in here. Here's how it's looking over here. I'm waiting for the master cylinder to arrive, but what I have to do is I gotta build a bracket over here. I'm gonna weld it up here. I'm gonna do some sort of like strengthening on the back side over here, a couple triangles, and then we're gonna drill a hole here and mount the master cylinder so that it attaches to this right here. So yeah, so lots of just waiting on parts and shit to arrive for this build, which is kind of annoying, but what can we do about it?
All right, so it has been quite some time since we touched the EF. Last thing we did was weld that bash bar. Also talked about getting the slave cylinder together for the clutch pedal. So here are the final products of those two things. So firstly, here's the bash bar, finally painted in the same color as our engine bay is. It looks pretty good. The paint ended up cracking, so we sprayed more red over it and then put a clear over it. So it's not that noticeable and actually has a pretty cool looking texture. So that's all finished. Going over here, over to the interior. If it opens, we have everything apart. And just to show you, need to get my light. Here is our clutch right here, the new clutch mounted up. And as you can see, there's the cylinder right here. It's a little plate that Alex is talking about. So he welded that on there. And now this works. We're keeping all this out just so when we get the engine in, we're actually able to bleed the whole clutch system. So that's all finished. He showed the fuse panel that was mounted. And finally in the engine bay, we did start messing with the brakes a little bit. This took a really long time actually. But Rock Auto sent the wrong size booster, so we had to modify it quite a bit to get it to fit in here exactly. But the booster's in, master cylinder is in, brake lines are mocked up, but yeah, I mean, fuel lines are already mocked up. So the next time you will see the EF in the video will probably be when we do have the engine. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next episode.